Good morning. Today is the 27th of December 2022. We're on my top five stories that interested me and engaged me over the course of the year just passed. Sorry, I just did a grocery haul yesterday, and as I've been telling you, it does take it out of me, but I'm okay to pump one out today. Uh, when I did my list, I was surprised at my uh, Anglo-centric. Um, my list is. That said, today, as you saw in the title, my fifth most intriguing story for the year would have to be the ascension of King Charles III onto the throne. And that's like a so say what, right? It was his mom that was, the star of the show. It was her passing, which of course was the big news story. Yes, it's true. But with her passing comes his ascension. Now, Charles has always been a bit of I had there's a slight kind of kindred spirit with Chuck and I. He does not obviously have the most engaging personality. He comes across sometimes a bit stiff. He always comes across as a decent person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he doesn't have a personality. And sometimes the personality is a touch on the prickly side, even. But he's still engaging enough, although he does not have the common touch, the gift of gab, the it factor. Surprisingly, his whole life has been surrounded by people with the it factor. His mom. I mean, he was only 4 years old, I'm thinking, maybe five, I'm not 100% sure, but he was about that age when his mom ascended to the throne. So you can imagine for 70 years with this glamour mom who was running the show, star of the show for 70 years, and he's in her shadow. And he doesn't like she also didn't necessarily have the most engaging personality, although she was delightful. She didn't have to be. She was the sovereign, and she was unique to herself, but she was a star. Then, of course, he married the ultra star. And actually, he was forced to marry said ultra star. If he could have followed his heart, and now his heart is on display with his wife right now, the queen, Camilla. If he could have followed his heart, what a different world it would have been. Yes, we wouldn't have had the starved power of Diana and all of the, well, drama and intrigue. I grew up during the Diana era, and you could not pick up a newspaper in Canada without there being a picture of what is Diana doing today. She's walking on the ground. She's doing either something. It didn't matter what she was doing. She's going to the gym. It was news. Okay. Poor Charles. The sad part is that he was denied the love of his life, which, by the way, he never gave up on, which is sort of cool. It's a touch. It's just interesting to me because they could not. The reason, if I understand correctly, the reason she was Camilla was not allowed to marry him because, of course, he's heir to the throne, so there were certain obligations and rules that needed to be followed. She wasn't a virgin. In this day and age, I do remember that when Diana was vetted, which is a strange way to get married, but when she was vetted, they actually did a procedure to find out if she was indeed intact. Tacky as that is, that was the world. Believe it or not, just of the 70s, early 80s. It's like, wow, the world has really moved on. Anyways, he was denied the love of his life. They couldn't keep their hands off each other, apparently, over the course of the affair, which is good. To me, that's a good thing. Follow your heart. I do honestly believe, for what it's worth, and this is just an opinion of some Canadian out in the boondocks. I do believe that he tried to make a goal of his marriage. It didn't get anywhere. You couldn't get anywhere when your heart is somewhere else, I'm guessing. I even believe that they would have even been happy having the mistress um, relationship. I think Camilla would have been happy with it. I'm just guessing, I don't know. But not to Charles, which is really cool. To me, what exemplifies him to me was when Diana died, how he handled her death. Yes, it was the mother of his children. She was the mother of his children. But he gave her so much reverence and honor. And he was not just there for the kids, but he actually read the mood of the country, and he accompanied her body back to London. He was the state funeral, all of that, from my reading of the situation, that was on him. That to me says a lot about him. He, I think he will be an Edward the Seventh. That's just my 2 cents. He's coming in with a low expectations, but surprisingly to me, he seems to he certainly had a long time to learn the role, and he's fitting into the role. To me, it seems to work. I'll have to admit that his oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, when he met the tragic Prime Minister Truss, was a good example of what kind of person and personality he is. I don't know. I have a soft spot for him. Kindred spirit. He doesn't. The other thing, by the way, is he was ridiculed for a lot of his passions, which are now mainstream. His environment. I remember this. His environmentalism was, that silly Charles banging on about dumb stuff again. No, the environment matters. Not only that, he also has, and this is another kindred spirit with me, he has a sense of history. There was a point there where he was didn't want to let historical buildings be bulldozed. He preferred them to be refitted and saved as monuments to the past, to posterity, to what once was. I don't know. He has his heart in the right place for me, and I think he's going to end up being a great king. I think he's already kind of proving it now. That's just, again, my 2 cents. He is, of course, the king of Canada. So as far as that goes, I do have a dog in the hunt, as it were. And I do believe he's going to end up being as popular, as significant as Edward VII was. That's just my 2 cents. We'll see, of course. History will have to play out. So that, again, this is number 5 of my top 5. And there's 3 international, and well, I guess no, because Canada is my home country. So this is my Canadian significance. What else is there to say? Canada is weathering the inflation crisis as best as can be expected to me. And we're doing better than some of our neighbors and some of our G7 countries. So as far as I'm concerned, there's not much to say about Canada other than we have a new monarch. So anyways, that's what number 5 is for today. That's what's going on behind the patch. I will talk to you guys later. Hope you have a good day.